Hello everyone, good afternoon. It's the penultimate day, the second to last day of the Quarantine Irish Tunes. It is the Saturday, the 9th day of May 2020 here in Madison, Wisconsin, where it's a lovely sunny day. I'm going to start off with some polkas. And I showed this the other day, but everything is backwards again because of a Facebook glitch. I'm very sorry. So this is a picture of Padraig O'Keefe, who was a fiddler from Slieve Lucra in the Kerry Cork border. And the tunes I'm going to play, one of them is called Padraig O'Keefe's, and the other one is called O'Keefe's. So we can assume that they both originated with that great fiddle player. So my theme today, besides starting out with these polkas, is basically a few things. One, sea songs and nautical theme, and with that, of course, goes travel and going around the world. And also, I'm not going to be doing this show in June for Father's Day, so I'm going to honor my dad, Art Wolf, who passed away a little more than 2 years ago, and was a great fan of world travel and working for world peace. A couple of polkas to start your day here. Some Kerry Polkas from Ireland, from the southwest part of Ireland. Traditional dances that are lively and played at lickety-split speed, and dancers just love to hoof around the dance floor to do that. There's great pictures that you can find of traditional dancing in Ireland from back in the 1900s, where in the small rural areas and the villages, there were often not any building that was large enough to hold a group of dancers. So the dances took place at the crossroads because there was a flat, wide open area where two roads met. There wasn't a lot of traffic. They would maybe do the dance on a Saturday afternoon or evening. There'd be the fiddle players, the pipers, the flutes, the accordions, and the boron, the drum, and they would dance out at the crossroads. So Ceilidh at the crossroads, dance at the out on in the village. So just fun times back then. So still happening. There's still lots of Irish dancing. You can do Irish dancing here in Madison. There's various groups that do set dancing and Ceilidh dancing, and also, of course, the the traditional, what you see at like river dance and with the Trinity Irish dancers and all that. So you got lots of options. So no excuse. Yeah. All right, so I said that I would proceed with a bit of a nautical theme. So this next song comes from Newfoundland. It is a traditional song that's been around a long time. It's called "I's the Bye That Builds the Boat." And "I's the bye" in Newfoundland dialect just means like I'm the boy, or I'm the guy. So "I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish. And I takes them home to Liza," or sometimes pronounced Lizer. And then the second part of the chorus is a little tricky. Some people say "swing your partner." The version I know is "hip your partner." Sally Thibault, so probably the French spelling, Thibeaux or something. And this, when I looked it up, it was just Tibbo. "Hip your partner, Sally Brown." And then this is the tricky part: Fogo, Twillingate, Morton's Harbor. Those are three places in the north part of Newfoundland, and then all around the circle. So I think the idea was that you would just make the circuit there, so, and kind of like in a square dance where you make the circle around the couples. So lots of other parts to this song in terms of the verses, but I'm not going to do any explaining. You'll have to look it up for yourself. So so this is going out to my dad, the world traveler. I even found down in the basement this lovely globe that belonged to my dad's parents, who are also world travelers. My grandparents, Hugh and Ithmer, and I inherited it from them. So a globe spinning as we travel around the world, and in this case, starting with a sea song from up in the Maritime provinces from Newfoundland. "I's the bye that builds the boat." I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish, takes them home to Liza. Hip your partner, Sally Thibault. Hip your partner, Sally Brown. Fogo, Twillingate, Morton's Harbor, all around the circle. Sods and rice to cover your plate. Cake and tea for supper. Codfish in the spring of the year, fried in maggoty butter. I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish, takes them home to Liza. I don't want your maggoty fish, they're no good for winter. I could buy as good as that down in Bona Vista. I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish, takes them home to Liza. Hip your partner, Sally Thibault. Hip your partner, Sally Brown. Fogo, Twillingate, Morton's Harbor, all around the circle. I took Liza to a dance as fast as she could travel. Every step that she did take was up to her knees in gravel. I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish, takes them home to Liza. Hip your partner, Sally Thibault. Hip your partner, Sally Brown. Fogo, Twillingate, Morton's Harbor, all around the circle. Susan White, she's out of sight. Petticoat wants a boarder. Old Sam Oliver in the dark, she kissed him in the corner. I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish, takes him home to Liza. Hip your partner, Sally Thibault. Hip your partner, Sally Brown. Fogo, Twillingate, Morton's Harbor, all around the circle. I's the bye that builds the boat. I's the bye that sails her. I's the bye that catches the fish, takes him home to Liza. All right, a sea song for you from Newfoundland. All right, well, MAIREAD's going to join me now, so she's grabbing her fiddle, and in honor of this maritime theme, we're going to do Popeye's theme. We're going to do the sailor's hornpipe, and I'm passing the phone over to Sandy for the camera duties. So, all righty. Get the globe out of the way. Get the music stand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Need to do a quick tune. Here you go. All right, hope everybody's doing well out there. It's day 49. Tomorrow's the last day, Mother's Day, so.
Forgive me. I'm trying to find the best angle. It's tricky.
All right, MAIREAD's going to join me for the sailor's hornpipe. You want us closer together is what you're saying? So, let me hear D. There we go. 1, 2, ready and go. One more time. Thank you, MAIREAD, for the sailor's hornpipe. And let's see, coming up next is going to be another sea song. It's going to be the Greenland Whale Fisheries. And before I do that, just need to get reset up here. So, sorry for the delay. I think we're about ready. And thank you very much, MAIREAD. She'll be back tomorrow for day 50 for a lovely waltz that we're going to do. So, all right. So before I do this next song, and I was mentioning my dad, Art Wolf. So I'm wearing this shirt today. Unfortunately, like I said, everything is backwards, but it has Pinecrest on it, which is my dad's family's summer place in northern Michigan, up in Benzie County. It's up in the Pinky of Michigan, so up near Traverse City and Sleeping Bear Dunes. And you can't see the back, but I brought another one so you could see because it's so beautiful. My cousin Dean designed this shirt back in 2003 when it was the centennial of the of Pinecrest, and there's the map, and you can see Crystal Lake, 1903 to 2003, when my great-grandfather and his brother bought the property right after it had been logged over. And of course now all those pine trees have grown up to a much greater height. All right, I brought a couple other shirts to share because my parents were world travelers. They made it to 6 out of 7 continents. So far I've only gotten to 5, but they got me shirts at various places. So here's one they got when they went to Istanbul. You can see the Bosporus, half in Asia, half in Europe, and Turkey there. Here's one that my dad got when he was in Vietnam, and he used to wear it when we played tennis, and now I have it, Saigon there. And then this one I actually wore earlier this last month because they got it when they went to the Isle of Man, and I talked about that on a different show, the Manx. All right, so a little shout out to my dad. I inherited some of that world traveling bug. I was only about 5 years old when my family went and lived for a year in Germany. And we did not go by airplane. We went by boat. And we were actually on the farewell voyage of the Queen Mary, the huge, wonderful ocean liner. My mom had actually, I believe, sailed on it back in the 50s, and then we sailed on the farewell voyage. All I remember about it since I was 5 was that they had parties almost every night for like the 5 or 6, 7 days that we were on there. And there were theme parties, you know, kind of dress up and, I don't know, Halloween, various things. And I remember that I was obsessed with Johnny Appleseed, so I was all excited because my mom had packed all sorts of things for going camping when we were in Europe, and so I had a saucepan on my head and a bag that was supposed to be full of apples, and I was Johnny Appleseed on the Queen Mary. So, all right. Quick tune here. There we go. This song is called the Greenland Whale Fisheries, and it don't really know where it originated, but it's been around a long time. Lots of different versions. The Dubliners do it among others. The Pogues, I think, do it. So here we go. Was 1853 on March the 14th day. Our boat set sail from Boston Harbor, and for Greenland we did sail, brave boys. For Greenland we did sail. The lookout in the cross tree stood with a spyglass in his hand. There's a whale, there's a whale, there's a whalefish, he cried, and she blows at every span, brave boys, she blows at every span. The captain stood on the quarter deck, a fine little man was he. Overhaul, overhaul, let your davit tackles fall, and launch your boats for sea, brave boys, launch your boats for sea. Well, we stuck that whale and the line paid out, but the whale gave a flourish of her tail. Our boat capsized and 10 brave men were drowned, and we never caught that whale, brave boys, we never caught that whale. The losing of those 10 fine men, it grieved our captain full sore, but the losing of that mighty sperm whale, Oh, it grieved him 10 times more, brave boys. It grieved him 10 times more. The winter star doth now appear, so boys will anchor weigh. It's time to leave this cold country, and homeward we will bear away. Homeward bear away. Oh, Greenland is a terrible place, where every seaman must go, where there's ice and there's snow, and the whale fishes blow. And the sun is seldom seen, brave boys. The sun is seldom seen. All right, the Greenland Whale Fisheries. Lots of great versions of that song. So that's kind of the nautical theme for the day, world traveling, and honoring my dad. My dad passed away just a little bit after his 87th birthday back in the end of December 2017, so a little more than 2 years ago. And I think I owe my interest in travel and people and culture in the world to his and my mom's desires for world travel as well. So another thing was that in our family, music was very important. And the funny thing is my mom grew up doing music. She played violin and other things, and piano. And she insisted that all 5 children take piano lessons, take violin lessons. My dad was kind of, in our family, it was a joke that, like, my dad loved music, but he was, tone deaf. He wasn't, a great singer. But he loved to sing anyway. It didn't matter. And in the summers at Pinecrest, we grew up doing campfire sings. When my ancestors first came up there, they were quite religious, and they would only sing on Sunday evenings, and they would only sing hymns around the campfire. But eventually that got changed. My great uncle Herb, in around 1920 or so, I believe, spent a year living in Dublin and attending Trinity College, and he came back with all sorts of humorous Irish songs. I'm not going to do any of them right now, but at some point I'll have to kind of get them down. There was a great one that he used to do called "Lather and Shave," the story about an Irishman who was going to the barber, and the chorus or the refrain was "Frizzle 'em bum." So Uncle Herb and my grandpa Uncle Hugh used to sing together all sorts of songs. Some of the ones that I've done over the last 49 days, I've done Cockles and Mussels, Molly Malone, and Cape Cod Girls, lots of fun things that I learned singing around the campfire, camp songs, and children's songs from around the world, sing-alongs, gospel songs, just you name it. It was a little of everything. So, all right, I'm going to finish off the day with a couple of reels, and I don't let a day go by without doing a couple of songs and at least a reel or two. And this is a reel. The first one is called Fred Finn's, and I got to meet Fred Finn back in 1983. And I think I'll tell the story about that after I play the tune. But here's a picture of Fred when he was still alive. So he died in 1986. All right, so a couple of reels. First one is Fred Finn's, and the second one is called Jenny's Chickens. So this Jenny's Chickens I'll send out to all the folks who are gardening or raising chickens or doing what they can to sustain and grow food and help us out in this pandemic with some healthy eating. right, thank you all. That's the last one of the day. But before I finish, I just want to tell a story about in 1983 when I went to Ireland and I wanted to learn everything about fiddling and fiddle players. And so I went to County Sligo because that's where Michael Coleman is from. That's where Kevin Burke is from. That's where all the great fiddlers were. And I thought if I just go there, I'll absorb it and I'll become an Irish fiddler. And people told me, they said, well, you need to go visit Fred Finn. He's an older man. He's a legend. Great wit, great stories, great playing. His father was a fiddler as well. He lived outside of Gurcheen in South Sligo. And so sure enough, I'm 20 years old. I've got my fiddle in my backpack, and I walk down the road and find his house. And what do you know? He's out front. It's just like Tom Sawyer. He's out front painting the fence. He's whitewashing the fence, and I stop by and chat him up, and of course he sits down and gets out his fiddle. I get out my tape recorder. His wife is giving me the biggest side eye you can imagine because she's finally gotten Fred outside on this sunny day to whitewash the fence, and this Yankee kid shows up with a fiddle and a backpack and stops him in his work because he wants to learn a few tunes. So Fred was gracious. He was wonderful. Unfortunately, when I came back in 1987, 4 years later, he had passed away at the age of 67. But his recordings are still around. And he played for 30 years with Peter Horan, who's another musician from that area, another wonderful person. I could tell stories about Peter all day long because I got to play with him numerous times later on. But Peter and Fred were great companions and great musicians and taught me a lot. So the last little thing I want to say is that when I watched Fred play, he was an older man, and he was very into economy of movement. So his right hand didn't move a lot. His left hand stayed on the fiddle. And when it was time to change strings, instead of using his right hand in the bow, so going up and down, he would just tilt the fiddle to meet it. And I watched him and I thought, that is the laziest thing I have ever seen in my life. I will never, ever do that. And now I do it. So thank you, Fred Finn. You showed me the way. All right. Thanks, everybody. It's been wonderful. I can't believe tomorrow is the last day, but it's going to be day 50. I really hope you join me. It's going to be a great show. I'll try not to cry. And MAIREAD will be joining me again to do Granya's Grace. And I see Daryl's watching. His wife, Mary, taught me that song. And going to do a couple other things that I think you'll really like. And I'm sad to be ending it, but it's time to take a break after day 50. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Be well. Sending out my love, and take care. See you tomorrow.